Without purpose, we would not exist. It is purpose that created us, purpose that connects us, that guides us, that drives us. It is purpose that defines us, purpose that binds us. We are here because of you, Miss Wachowski. We are here to take from you what you tried to take from us. Purpose. Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So The Matrix Resurrections has finally been released, and you would be hard-pressed to find another movie that I was more excited for this year than this one. Words can't express how much The Matrix means to me, and I'm even talking about the much-maligned sequels, both Reloaded and Revolutions, which are brilliant in my opinion, and that is a hill that I intend to die on. When I heard that a fourth Matrix film was being developed, my initial thoughts were, how are they going to reintroduce us to the world and the characters in an organic way?
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Being the huge fan that I am, I always fantasized about how I would do it. But now that I've seen how Lana Wachowski chose to do it, is it what I was hoping for? Well, the very simple answer to that question is no. But in typical Matrix fashion, we're going to have to dig a little deeper and find out why. First, I will say this. The movie is not all bad, and it's not unwatchable by any means. I think there are ideas in this movie that probably sounded good in concept, but were just executed really poorly.
Why?
The Matrix to me has always been about the theories and philosophy that comes along with it, and what it means as it pertains to being a human being, and the commentary that comes along with that. All of that stuff is still here in the fourth movie, but it's all on the surface. Now, I've only seen this Matrix movie once, but the feeling I got watching the other Matrix movies, where I needed to analyze everything I heard and saw, that feeling just never hit me in this one.
I'm having trouble.
This movie takes a very meta approach to explaining what the Matrix is. That type of approach is always risky because going meta only works if you don't go overboard with it. And this movie goes a little bit too far down that rabbit hole. Without spoilers, of course, Neo finds himself once again trapped inside of this fictional world of the Matrix. Now, the idea of history repeating itself is not a foreign concept in Matrix lore. The problem is that at times this movie feels a bit too much like a greatest hits album.
We're so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
We cover a lot of familiar ground, and there's a lot of moments that are supposed to be like, hey, remember this? But diehard fans really don't need that. I wanted this movie to peel back another layer of this world that I hadn't seen yet. Basically, just wow me, and I never really got that feeling. I would say that it's purely nostalgia-driven. The problem is that those nostalgic moments don't hit home. They are missing something. Being a huge fan, I should feel something when I see these characters on screen again, and I just didn't. It very much felt like everyone was just going through the motions and not really trying to add anything new or interesting to the story. There wasn't even really an action sequence that blew me away, which is a strange thing to say about a Matrix movie. Now, I don't have to mention names, but anyone who's seen the trailer pretty much knows this already. The iconic characters who are missing and didn't return leave a very big void in this story that the new characters are just not able to fill. Those characters are essential to the Matrix and to Neo's journey, and it feels very unnatural to not include them.
That is the sound of inevitability.
It also made some of those what would have been big moments feel less important. Now, there is a bit of a twist ending to this movie that I'm sure is going to ruffle some feathers. Knowing what I know, it doesn't really bother me as much as it's going to bother some other people. But how we get to that reveal really wasn't executed properly at all. And that's what makes it feel kind of hollow and cheap.
Whoopie fucking do.
I saw a story circulating around YouTube and on social media where people were comparing The Matrix Resurrections to The Last Jedi. Even with me not enjoying this movie like I thought I would, that comparison is ridiculous. The polarizing reactions to this movie will be Last Jedi-like for sure, but The Last Jedi was a franchise-breaking movie that manages to undo and disrespect the lore that came before it. It actually made me angry to watch that movie. Whereas The Matrix Resurrections didn't make me mad at all, and in my opinion didn't really disrespect the characters or undo anything that came before it. It just didn't do anything to justify its existence now, and that's the difference. Again, I have to be vague in this review to avoid spoilers for now, and that's very hard with a movie like this. And it is something that I will probably revisit to see if there's stuff that I missed. But the bottom line is I felt nothing watching a Matrix sequel after a long hiatus, and that's a real problem. It lacked any kind of emotional core and feels very unfocused focused the further you get into the runtime. And if there's one thing that The Matrix has always been to me, it's focused. I'll always have the original trilogy to fall back on, but after one viewing, I'm gonna have to regretfully give The Matrix Resurrections the Careless Sam Gerard.
I don't care!
If you know how much I love The Matrix, you know how much that hurts me, but I have to be honest, because that's what I'm here for. So have you seen The Matrix Resurrections? If you have, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Right on.